Yes. Hello everyone. Welcome to Medibir. Today we have a live session and it's gonna last approximately an hour, maybe a little bit less than an hour, and I'll give you some useful information that I think that are useful for you in your medical careers, and shortly explain you my story and my experiences. Then afterwards we will continue with your questions and I'll try to answer as many questions as possible from you. Then also we will talk about USMLE examinations, what to do in USMLE examinations and how to prepare for USMLE examinations. I'm also preparing and studying for USMLE examinations. And first of all, I'd like to introduce you. My name is Kivanc Yangi. I'm an intern doctor in Turkey, in Istanbul, Turkey. It means last year medical student, final year medical student in our country. And hopefully in 9 to 10 months I'll be finishing and graduating from my faculty, and my current responsibilities are I'm the student representing my faculty for 6 years. I'm the founder of Student Entrepreneurship Club in my, and simultaneously I'm working in Professor Al-Shafai's lab. It's an international laboratory. We are working on neurosurgery and we are writing some book chapters in neurosurgery. And Dr. Al-Shafai is one of the best neurosurgeons in Europe and one of the directors of European Association of Neurological Surgeons and director of the CCN, the Craniocervical Junctional Workshops. Let's start. My name is Kivanc Yangi, and I will briefly talk about my story at first. So when I was a first year medical student in my faculty, one day I was having lunch with my friend in the faculty. So my friend was 5 years older than me, and he recommended me to do some research and develop my career. If I were an academician, if I want to be a professor, or if I want to be a good surgeon or good doctor, we need to have a good CV. So he told me those kind of things, and after that day I started searching in the internet, and I started searching to the websites of the hospitals, and I found a place. I found a place in Germany, Munich Technical University, a pancreatic research laboratory, and I started my research career in Germany, in Munich Technical University. And first of all there I learned the laboratory techniques, and I learned how to research, I learned how to read articles and how to write articles there. Then when I was in München, they gave me a project and we started that project, and this year hopefully that project's gonna be publishing in PubMed soon. Afterwards I applied International Neuroscience Institute in Hanover, also in Germany, and I was under supervision of Professor Sami, Professor Dr. Majid Sami. Maybe some of you know Dr. Sami. Dr. Sami is awarded as Golden Neuron. You can search in the Google for Golden Neuron awards. In the world, just 4 people is awarded with Golden Neurons. One of them is Professor Gazier Shargil, and one of them is Professor Sami. And when I was working under supervision of Dr. Sami, he really inspired me to be a neurosurgeon. So I decided to go on the way of neurosurgery when I was working with Dr. Sami. Even I wasn't know anything about neuroanatomy those days, because I was just a first year medical student. I was joining to operations, I was watching to operations, but I wasn't understanding. There were some PhD students who inspired me to study neuroanatomy. And during my first year summer holiday, I started to study for neuroanatomy in order to understand the surgeries of Dr. Sami. And this is how I started to my neurosurgical career. Afterwards, Dr. Sami has directed me to neurosurgical societies, and I meet with Turkish Neurosurgical Society, and I started attending to international neurosurgical courses, international based neurosurgical courses, and the courses are today like more than 50 conferences abroad, and I gave some speeches, presentations. So is it impossible? No, it's not impossible, and you all can do this. I'm here to give you some ideas. I'm here to inspire you all so you can do even better than me. So after Dr. Sami, I applied to Cologne University in Germany again, Uniclinic Cologne. I was accepted from clinical department, and I was a clinical research assistant in University of Cologne, Uniclinic Köln, under supervision of Professor Krishek. And we started working on some cases of peripheral neurosurgery, peripheral nerve surgery. And this is how my story and where my story begins, which goes to Mayo Clinic. Yes. When I was in Cologne University, Dr. has given me a case of intraneural ganglion cysts, intraneural ganglion cysts. And when I was doing my literature review in PubMed, I've just seen 17 cases published from that day on. Just 17 cases were published, so we decided to publish the 18th case. So when I searched on the internet, the 17 cases, all of them has been published by a single professor, by a single man. And that professor was from Mayo Clinic. Professor Dr. Robert Spinner. He's the chairman of neurosurgery in Mayo Clinic, Rochester, Minnesota, United States. So I started emailing with him, with Professor Spinner. It started in 2013. So after Uniclinic Cologne, I decided to learn some specific things in neurosurgery, and I applied for a position, for an observeship position in Charité University, Berlin, the capital city of Germany. Maybe most of you, I think, you know about the Charité. And the chairman was Professor Vaikozy. Professor Vaikozy is one of the best neurosurgeons around the world also, and he's specifically known by his extracranial to intracranial anastomosis surgery. That's why I am at Charité University, and that's why I've been there. I was in his operations. I was also inspired by him. I was also trying to learn the anastomosis surgery, the vascular neurosurgery. After the Charité, we were simultaneously talking with Professor Spinner. As I told you like 5 minutes ago, Professor Spinner is the chairman of neurosurgery in Mayo Clinic. And he is one of the best peripheral nerve surgeons in the world. So he was really shocked that somebody else in the world were doing such cases, were working on such cases. And after the emailing process, he accepted me to go to Mayo Clinic and work as a research assistant there. So last year, during the summertime, I went to Mayo Clinic, Rochester, Minnesota, in the United States. I was a research assistant there, working with Professor Spinner, and we have also published a case there with Dr. Spinner, and that case has taken its place in the literature as a first known case, in the literature. So it was a really quite big thing for me, and afterwards, from nowadays, I'm preparing for USMLE Step 1 exams in order to States and work in the United States. It was also one of my biggest dreams to work in the United States. So I've been, as I summarized to you, I've been in 5 different positions. I worked as a laboratory research assistant, observer, and clinical research assistant. In Mayo Clinic, I was a clinical research assistant. In Uniclinic Cologne, I was a clinical research assistant. In Berlin, I was an observer. In Hanover International Neuroscience Institute, I was also an observer. But I have started to my career with being a laboratory assistant. So, afterwards, when I was started to attending neurosurgical congresses, I started to giving some speeches. In 2015, I've been in World Federation of Neurosurgical Society Foundation Leaf Surgery Seminar in Harare, Zimbabwe, in Africa. Maybe we have some guests from Africa, so I would like. Now we are 150 people, so I can say hi to all of you. Good evening for Asia, good evening for India, good evening for Europe and Turkey, and good afternoon for the United States. So welcome to our live session. So when I attended to WFNS Congress in Zimbabwe, I applied with a speech. So those kind of congresses is for surgical residents. But I tried my chance. I applied with my speech, and they accepted my speech to present in WFNS Congress. So I presented my speech, and they elected my speech as second best speech in this Congress. Even I was the only medical student who was attending to those congresses. So I want to inspire you. I want to tell you that it's not impossible. Everything is possible as long as you want to do it. Students, most of the medical colleagues want to do those kind of things. They start from some point, but suddenly they gave up. I want to tell you that don't give up. Start from some point and go on this way. I know it's so hard. I know it's complicated. I know that you want to spare maybe lots of your times to this. For example, I've spared most of my vacations to go and work in places, to go and do some research, to go and learn neurosurgery. Even in my free time, I was going to neurosurgical departments and having some night shifts there during my medical faculty. I'm still doing this. That's why I want to inspire you. Also last year in Mumbai, India, I was in Mumbai, India, maybe we have some guests from India, in March 2017, there was an international conference of complications in neurosurgery. I given also a speech there, and I also given some speeches in Turkey, and I elected as best presentation, third best presentation, and so on. So I also want to say that the ones among us who wants to go to the United States and work in the United States, from somewhere, because USMLE exam, the United States medical licensing examination, it's not just an examination. You need to have a good CV, you need to have good contacts, you need to have letter of recommendations, you need to have dean's letter, you need to have cover letters, personal statements, and so on. So they are not just looking to your exam degrees. Have 17 USMLE exams. You can have 218 USMLE exams. Of course, that's a great thing. Of course, that's a perfect and amazing thing. But in the United States, the professors and the hospitals are looking to your contacts, to your CVs, to your researches, and to your successes. So, our subscribers, please start from somewhere. I would like to inspire you. Please don't give up so early, and you can do even better than me. So there is nothing to be afraid. Some of them among us, as I know, you're afraid of not knowing your English language or not knowing any foreign language. Please don't let that disturb you. You can improve your English abroad. You can improve your English by studying by yourself. From a point. Please start from a point, then everything remaining is gonna come and is gonna follow you for lifelong. For example, one recommendation, one advice from me to you guys too. First of all, please decide on a specialty that you want to specialize in, and afterwards follow the official page of those specialties. For example, every day I check the World Federation of Neurosurgical Societies pages on the internet, and also from the Facebook, from the other social media. I'm checking all the news of them. I'm checking every day the Turkish Neurosurgical Societies pages to find out where and when I can attend to such congresses, to such speeches, to have good contacts, maybe to give some speeches, maybe to give some presentations. So please decide in your mind, then follow their pages. And about the research positions I want to talk about too. For me, I'm dividing this into two parts. First one is laboratory internships. The second one is clinical internships. So it depends on you. You can start with laboratory internship or you can start with clinical internship. Decide in your mind, and after you decide that, go to the websites of the hospitals and please decide on a country in your mind. If you want to continue your medical education or continue your specialty in your home country, please try to contact with foundations of the subspecialties. Then please try to start attending to those conferences and those congresses. Or if you want to go to United States, for example, if you want to go to Germany or another part in the Europe, please start to contact them. Please start to contact them. So, it's also really important that writing a good email while contacting to those people. You should write a really good and detailed email. Maybe I can show one example to you. A detailed email to the professors of the hospitals that you want to work in. And one advice more for me to you, please use your time during the medical faculty. Because after you graduate from your medical faculty, it is not going to be easy to find time to attend the congresses. It is not going to be easy to find time to do some medical researches. And for example, in our country, the hospitals doesn't really teach how to do a medical research, or how to write an article, or how to write a case report. So where I learned it, I started to learn it in Germany. Yeah, near Professor Krischek. Professor Krischek has showed me how to write a good case report. I started myself to work on it, to study on it. As I was knowing nothing about the case reports, about the articles, about the PubMed. I wasn't even able to use PubMed. But I tried by myself to learn PubMed, to learn writing articles. Then finally, when I was in Mayo Clinic, we published the first known case in literature. So when you start from somewhere, the remaining is coming. So I want to tell you basically this. And let's talk a little bit about the USMLE exam. USMLE exam is composed of 3 steps and 4 exams. I think you all know, guys. The step 1 is basic sciences. This step is composed of 2 steps, the clinical knowledge and clinical skills steps. In order to join the clinical skills exam, first of all, you need to graduate from your medical school, then you will go to the United States, then you can take this clinical skills exam in the United States. Then, in September, every year in September, there is match applies. So, during the September, you can apply for matches. It begins in September and it lasts until November. So after November, in December or in January, interviews are coming. And during the March, the hospitals announcing the results of the matches. And after the announcement of the results of the matches, you can start working as a resident in July those years. I am also studying for step 1 exam, and for the ones who wants to go to United States, I'm highly recommending to take step 1 exam in your 3rd or 4th year in your country during the medical faculty. And afterwards, before graduating from medical faculty, it would be the best if you can take also step 2, clinical knowledge part, so you can easily proceed to go into the United States. For the ones who wants to go to Europe, for example, for the Germany, I've been 4 times in different places in Germany. That's why I know some stuff about Germany. You're applying some companies, and those companies are getting the 10% of your salaries, but they are putting you in hospitals. That's how it works. There is not special medical exam, but they just want you to give them. They just want you to give them a language certificate. You should know the German language in order to go to Germany, for example. And before starting to our questions part, yes, I checked my notes, and the ones who wants to apply for ECFMG certificate, maybe you know the process, maybe you don't know the process, you should just go to the www.ecfmg.com. Then first of all you should apply for an ECFMG ID. First of all you apply for ECFMG ID, then ECFMG is sending you your personal ID number. Then with using this personal ID number, you're again going to ecfmg.com and you're applying for International Web Application System. Of course there is some fees you need to pay in order to apply for this, but afterwards a form comes, like named as Form 183. Then you're taking this Form 183 and going to student relations, then posting your information to the United States, then the process starts. So most of all, as I know, every day I'm having some questions from most of you. You're asking about how to find research places. First of all, my friends of first, second, and the third year medical students in their faculties, please try to specialize in one thing, because I don't recommend you to divide in the other parts. For example, if you want to go to psychiatry and neurological surgery and general surgery and the eye diseases and ophthalmology, I don't recommend this. Try to find a specialization in your mind. Try to decide on which kind of internship program you want to attend, either observeship, either clinical research, or the laboratory internship. Then find a country that you want to live in, that you want to be a medical doctor in. Then search for the hospitals and search for the professors. Then when you find the professor, when you contact with that professor, you can find the contact either from Google or from PubMed. From PubMed you can write that professor's name and you can find the email, or in Google you can find the email of the professor. And I highly recommend you all to find a mentor in your life. For example, my mentor was Professor Dr. Majid Sami, who inspired me to walk on the way of being a neurosurgeon. I'm still working on the way of being a neurosurgeon, and today I attended more than 50 congresses, I've given more than 15 speeches, and I've taken more than 10 awards in neurosurgical departments, and even I completed my international basic neurosurgical courses. So, now I can have your questions. You can write your questions from the comments, and I will try to answer as much as questions from you. We have half an hour more, and this is the part of questions. How did you manage this visa problem? Mrs. Malhasyan from Turkey. Yeah, guys, luckily this year from DB Lottery State Program I won a green card, and hopefully I will be having my green card in September 2018, and I highly recommend all of you to apply for green card for DB Lottery, from DB Lottery State Program, for the ones who want to work and live in the United States. So how experience medical college? Dr. Ahmed Shabir Malik. My experiences in my medical college. So as I told you guys, in medical colleges, for example in my country, they are not teaching that much about medical researchers, the research positions, going abroad, or the abroad examinations, or such things. You can work on them by yourself, and you can develop your medical career. Faculty studying medicine in English language, and I can easily say that Cerrahpaşa Medical Faculty is the best medical faculty in Turkey. We are binded to Istanbul University, and I'm connecting to you guys from Istanbul, Turkey now. Yeah, I recommend the spectators who is online from Turkey right now to go for Istanbul University Cerrahpaşa Medical Faculty. Yeah, I highly recommend this. So I can have any other questions from you guys. Dr. Ben Hamida Mohammed. Hello, I am in the first year in the cardiac surgery in Germany. How much time will take me to make all steps? I think you're talking about the USMLE steps, right? USMLE step 1, USMLE step 2, and USMLE step 3. So, for the USMLE step 1, it takes approximately 9 to 1 year to prepare for the exam, pass the exam. For USMLE step 2, clinical knowledge part, it needs approximately 4 to 5 months to be prepared. And for the step 2 clinical skills part, it takes around 3 to 4 months. So many you think, hi, welcome to our live session. Göksel Akbulut, hi, welcome to our live session. I can also have questions in Turkish or in German or in English, guys. So totally for step 1 and step 2 you need at least 2 years. And when you apply for the match processes, match applies in September, it also takes time. You, for example, you're applying for the match program of September 2019, you can at least minimum start working is in July 2020. That's why I want to tell you, it takes at least 2 years. So 2 years minimum. In 2 years you need to get all the good degrees from your USMLE exams, all the prepared CV, all the letter of recommendations and interviews goes well. It minimum takes 2 years. But it can grow up to 3 years, 4 years, for 5 years, so on. Yeah, I can have any other questions if you want to ask, guys. We'll be online for 20 minutes. Fatma Irdam, is it advantage studying English medicine for Turkish students? I'm not good at English but win the medicine of Marmara. I'm Cypriot. Yes, according to my opinions, this is really better to study medicine in English language because it makes you familiar with medical English also, and it makes you familiar with writing articles, because all the articles and all the researches and all the publishments in medicine you will do in English language. So it's also better, of course it's better to study medicine in English language, according to my opinion. Of course. According to the ones who wants to go abroad. According to my opinions, also a medical doctor should know English language. Türkçe söyleyelim. Tabii ki bence İngilizce okumak daha iyidir. Çünkü araştırmalarınızı, her şeyinizi İngilizce dilinde yapacaksınız. İngilizce öğrenmenizi tavsiye ederim. Let's change back. When should apply a medical student in 5th year on scholarship in other country in homeland? So when should apply to USMLE, as I understood? USMLE exam is United States Medical Licensing Examination. So when to apply? When you decide to apply for USMLE examinations, I highly recommend you to be in 3rd or 4th class of your medical faculty. But if you are in the 5th or 6th year of your medical faculty, it's not too late. So as long as you decide for going United States, I highly recommend you to start at that point and apply in that point. Go to the ECFMG website and do your applies, but make a study plan for you and study hard, because it's really a hard exam, the step 1 exam. How much year do I have for USMLE preparation? Dr. Ryan Maher Jude. So Dr. Ryan, how much year? I just told about the years and the processes. For step 1 exam, with a hard working studying, it means 7 to 8 hours a day and 5 to 6 days in a week. In 9 months, you can be ready for step 1 exam. For step 2 exam, 45 months. In step 2 CS exam, you need to graduate from your faculty first. Then you are going to the United States and taking this exam. And minimum 2 years you need. Dr. Sıla Karakaya, what is the importance of one's GPA? What is your GPA example? For example, my GPA is 3.35. GPA is not that much important when you're applying for USMLE. If you have a good CV, if you have a good background, and if you have good degrees from USMLE exams, from step 1 and step 2. For example, my GPA is 3.35 and GPA is not really important. But if you graduate from your faculty as a first or second or third, the first is the best. If you graduate from your faculty as a first position, it's of course important. So, Dr. Munzer Alo, what are the steps which I have to do to be accepted in neurosurgery, because all students say it's impossible? Yeah, guys, in United States, if you want to specialize in neurosurgery, it's impossible. It's kind of impossible, it's true. That's why, for the ones who want to be a neurosurgeon, I highly recommend you to start doing researches, going abroad, publishing some articles, doing some case reports, taking some night shifts, having some good contacts, because it's highly competitive in the United States. If you want to be a neurosurgeon there, it's highly competitive because surgical branches, plastic surgery and the neurosurgery is one of the best branches in the United States. And most of the American medical doctors also apply for those positions. Keep in mind that we are applying for the positions that felt empty, from the American medical students. They remained empty, the positions which remained empty. So, for example, if you check the match results of 2016, they announced in March, 48 international medical graduates has been applied for neurosurgery and 8. So, don't think about it's impossible. Start to do something, start to develop your medical career. What is the best time to give USMLE, during med school or after finishing? Dr. Shivani Bedi. Thanks for your question, Dr. Bedi. The best time for giving step 1 and step 2 clinical knowledge part is during the medical faculty, of course. But if you graduated from your medical faculty, if you are a medical doctor, I want to say that it's not impossible still. If you want to do that, you can do that. Just start from a point and don't give up early. I wanted to encourage you, I wanted to inspire you, don't give up early. If I gave up in my first year of medical faculty, most of the people were telling me, you are just a first year in your medical faculty, you know nothing, how can you go abroad, how can you do some researches, how can you apply for those positions. They never accept you, but they accepted me, and I came this position. And I even have some continuing medical education credits and continuing personal development credits, which you need them also for being associate professor or being specialized consultant neurosurgeon. Yeah. We can have some more questions, we can have some more time. Yeah, this is a question part, guys. For the ones who just attended and joined our live session, this is question part about USMLE and medical career development, research positions, observeship positions. So, Dr. Maria